Alright, welcome back to Crabby Dice, and today we're going to do a full playthrough of Creature Comforts, which is a really cute family weight board game. It does say 8 plus on the box from Kid Table Board Games. So the theme to this one is we're a critter family. We're trying to get our homes ready for the winter time, but it is a Euro at heart. We're just trying to score more points than our opponents to win the game. Alright, now the main mechanism to this game is an entryway worker placement, dice placement game. There's a bit of speculation because you are putting out your workers, but every location needs a dice number, but you're not exactly sure what dice are going to be rolled. And then you figure that out after. I'm not going to go too much into it. You'll see after the first couple of rounds how that works. All right, now before we start, I do have to mention a few things. One, I'm not going to make a rules video to this one. It is really simple. After the first round, you'll pretty much know all the rules to the game. All right, second, this is going to be a two-player playthrough. I'll be playing against the gray foxes here, and I'll be the nice purple squirrels. All right, and three, I am going to be playing with the short game variant. You just take out a couple of cards from the Valley decks there. Because the game rounds are pretty much identical, I just want to keep this video as short as possible. Okay, so let's get started. Now, before we start, there's a couple things you have to do during setup. You're going to deal 3 comfort cards to each player, and they need to keep 2 in their hands. So I already did that for the Fox player. So let me look at what I have in my hand. So these are the comfort cards, and you'll get a bulk of your points in this game by building these cards. And the cost to build them are on the left, and the points that they'll give you is on the top. All right, so I've been given a loaf of bread, which needs a ton of wheat, the stew, which is a bunch of mushrooms, and the pot of tea, which is apples and coins. So right away, I think what I'm going to do is just get rid of the bread. I mean, this can give you a lot of points, but there's so much wheat on the card, and you'll see a little note up there that in the first couple of rounds of the game, there's not going to be any wheats available in the valley. So this is going to be really hard to build at the start of the game. So let's just get rid of that and put in the discard, and I'm going to start the game with these 2 in my hand. So I'm going to be looking for mushrooms, apples, and coins. All right. Okay, now every round of the game is broken up into the same 6 steps. All right, step number 1 is flipping over to the next traveler who's gonna appear. All right, so these cards might have an immediate effect, which will trigger right away, or it might have an all-month effect. So this one is an all-month effect. It says all 4 valley locations provide an apple in addition to what they show. So place an apple just as a reminder. All right, so that means if we put our workers up there and we activate those spots, we'll get an extra apple. All right, and the other thing that these guys will give you is if you put your worker there, you're going to see the effect that they'll give you when you trigger the card. All right, so that's step number 1. All right, step number 2 is each family have their own 2 dice. So they're going to roll those 2 dice. All right, so the fox has got a 4 and a 5. And let's see what the squirrels are going to get. They're going to get a 1 and a 2. All right, and that brings us to step number 3. All right, so step 3 is the worker placement aspect of the game, and I've already gone ahead and done that for the gray foxes. And this is the speculation. By putting a worker, it doesn't mean you're going to automatically activate that spot. You're going to have to use dice, but you're not exactly sure which dice faces are going to show up because you haven't rolled them yet. The only ones you really know are the ones that are on your board. All right, those are set in stone. All right, so let me look at my cards just to look at maybe a bit of a strategy here. So I'm going to be looking for mushrooms, apples, and coins. So I mean, I probably am going to go to this spot because I'm going to need 2 dice that are lower than 5. And I already have that for my family board, so I'm not really doing much speculation there. I'm automatically going to get it. Maybe I'm going to go here to get a coin and a rock because I do need a 2, and I already have a 2 in my pool. Maybe I'm going to go over... Let's see. Could I build any of these? Not really, and I need a bunch of wood. Well, I can get some wood from there. Actually, you know what? Let me go over here. Maybe I'll build a bicycle. Sure. Actually, you know what? Let me go to this spot here, and let me go get another apple. Yeah, I'll go get a bunch of apples. So I'm gonna go right over here. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so there you go. That's the dice placement. All right, step number 4 is whoever the first player is. I forgot to mention that at the start. Is this little Earthworm Jim token is the start player marker. All right, is gonna take the common dice, and we're gonna roll them. And these are going to go on the mountaintop here. All right, and this leads us into step 5, which is the bulk of the game. And this is where you're going to be doing your actions. So the way this works is each player in turn order is going to use their pool of 6 dice, including their family dice, to activate their workers that are on the field. All right, so the way I like to do it is I like to put my dice on the mountaintop. All right, give it to the player. So I'm just going to put it here for now. And they can activate any of the workers in whatever order they want using these dice. Okay, so let's just go through this and I'll show you how it's done. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to activate this worker over here, which means I need to give up a 3 or a 4 to get 2 rocks. All right, so I'm going to exhaust this 4, put it back on the mountain, take back my worker, and that's going to give me 2 rocks. All right, these are going to go into my personal supply. Okay, that's it. You're going to do the same thing for all the workers. All right, so this spot over here says I need to give up 2 dice of the exact same number. All right, well, I got a bit lucky. A bunch of 1s came out. So I'm going to place 2 1s over here, and that's going to give me 3 apples in total. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3. And again, these are going to go into my personal supply. Oh, I did forget to take back my worker. All right, so that's 2 out of my 4 workers for this round. All right, next up, I need to give up 2 dice that are less than 5. 5 or lower. All right, well, it doesn't really matter which ones I give up. There's only 1s and 2s, so let's give up my 2 family dice. Actually, you know what? Let me give up my, yeah, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to end up building the bicycle. So let's just give up the 1 and the 2 over here. That's 2 of 5 and lower, and in total, that's going to give me 2 wood, 2 mushrooms, and an apple. 2 wood, 2 mushrooms, and an apple. There you go. And lastly, oops, take back this guy. And lastly, I'm going to activate this work over here. All right. So this worker is to build improvements. All right. And the way this works is that die you give up is which level of improvement or lower you can build. Well, because I'm giving up a 1, the only improvement I could build is the bicycle. All right. So let's give up the 1. So I'm going to be building this one here. I don't have a choice. All right, and to build this, I'm going to need 2 wood and a stone. So let's go to my player board. Let's get rid of 2 wood and a stone. Back into the general supply. And I'm going to build this out. All right, now improvements are, they're going to give you points at the end of the game, but they're all going to give you a special ability. All right, so now this one says at the start of your turn, you may move one of your workers to a different location. So this sort of helps me out with the speculation. Let's see, I roll the dice and I can't really activate a spot because I won't have the dice for that. Well, I can move him and actually get something better for this. All right, so I'm just going to put this in my play area. And whenever you build an improvement, you're going to take the lowest most hut and you're just going to put it on the card. All right, because you can only build 4 improvements throughout the game, and these are going to score you points as well. All right, that was pretty much my turn. All right, the last thing you can do at the end of your turn is you can build as many comfort cards as you want. All right, let's see. Do I have enough to build any of these? No, because I don't have a coin for the teapot, and I don't have 4 mushrooms. I only have 2. All right, so that's going to be the end of my turn. You just have to check as long as you don't have more than 3 cards. You have to discard down to 3. I only have 2, so that's going to be fine. And that's going to be my turn. All right, you're going to just take back your family dice. And you're going to move on to the next player. And just like I did with the other player, they're going to take their dice. Oops. I'm going to put them on the mountain. And they can go ahead and activate them and do whatever they like. All right. I'm going to do their turns off camera. There's not much to see. Oh, you do need to refill things right away in this game. Sorry, I'm going to do the fox's turn off camera. It is just very important in this game. Never change the dice faces of the white dice when you're activating them. There are abilities with the black tokens that you can add or remove pips to certain values, sort of dice manipulation. But you're just simulating like it's a higher or lower number. You're not actually changing the dice faces. It's going to be the same for all the players. All right, so let me do that for the gray player and I'll be right back. All right, so his turn is done. Everything's activated. And after everyone's done their turn, remember step 5 is the bulk of the game. You're going to go to step 6, which is just the cleanup. All right, you're just gonna remove some tokens off the board and get ready for the next round. So the leftmost and bottommost, leftmost comfort card and the bottommost improvement get removed from the game. Everything slides over. The improvements slide down, just so we don't have stale cards out there. The Traveler is gonna take off. We are gonna flip over to the new Meadow and Forest cards. All right, and we're pretty much ready to go and start the next round, which is going to work in the exact same 6 steps. Oh, last thing is the first player marker will rotate to the person to your left. All right, and then they're going to get the dice to roll in step 4. All right, and then you start again. So step 1, the Traveler is going to come out. End of month. All right, so this one activates at the end of next turn. It says, in turn order, each player may gain a book from the supply if they give a gift of a resource to another player. All right, so we'll deal with that at the end of next round. Okay, that's step number 1. Step number 2 is let's roll our family dice. So the squirrels are going to go 3 and a 4. Let's roll the foxes 2 and a 3. All right, and step 3, worker placement. All right, so just like in round 1, I already went ahead and put out the fox tokens, but remember, very important, you're all doing this at the exact same time. There's no blocking. Okay, so, one thing I did forget to mention, I will write a note at the start. You do have to rotate the dial here 1 space during the upkeep, which is step 6. All right, sorry about that. All right, now I can be a bit, risky with my workers because remember, I do have the bicycle, which lets me rearrange one of my workers afterwards. So I can really go a bit crazy and take some risks. Let's say I need 3 dice that are in a straight. Well, if I don't come close to that, well, I can move that later on. Okay, so again, let's just look at my cards. Let's see what I'm trying to build. Here, I just need a coin, and here I'm missing 2 mushrooms. All right, so right away, just looking at the board here, let's send 1 worker here. Let's send 1 worker here for the coin. Oh, very important though, at the end of summer, which I believe is the next round, you're not going to be getting mushrooms anymore. So I do want to get my mushrooms now. Let's see, let's go get a couple of rocks from over here. And with my last die, let's just go over here to get more cards. All right, more comfort cards. All right, so that was step number 3. Let's go to step number 4. Whoever first player is going to take the common dice, roll the new pool of dice, and put on the mountain. All right, so I've already gone ahead and activated the fox's turn, so to save a bit of time in the video, and they ended up building the first comfort card of the game. They got the rocking chair out that costed 3 wood and a yarn into the general supply, and then you could just put this out in your tableau, and that's going to score him 5 points at the end of the game. And if he has the quilt, it's going to give him an extra 2 points. All right, so let's just put that in his tableau right over here. All right, so he's done his turn. Now it's going to go to my turn as second player, and remember, I do have the bicycle, so I can rearrange one of my workers out there at the start of my turn, which is now. So let me put my tokens out here. And what might I want to do? All right, so I'm going to use a die here. So let's just simulate that. Let's say I'm going to use the 3 over here. I need a straight there, so 3, 4, 5. Let's see, I need a 3 and a 4 there. That's not going to work. So you can already see that I'm going to have some problems. So another thing that you might want to make sure is the amount of dice that you're using. So here, that takes 3 dice, that takes 2, so that's already 5. That's my 6 dice, and in total every round you're going to have only 6 dice. All right, so already one of my workers will not activate if I leave it like this because I'm using 6 dice over there. So I think what I'm going to do is I do really want the 2 mushrooms for sure, so that's going to be my 3 and my 4. Let's see, I do really want the rocks as well, so that's going to be the 3. Let's say I'm going to use 1 die over here. So let's say it's the 11 or higher. Let's just move this guy into this spot right over here. All right, I'm going to give him my 5 over there. All right, so I think this is going to be good. I might not use all my dice, but that's fine. Okay, so for up here, let me activate this guy over there. So let's do this in order. Sorry about that. So this is going to be a 3 and a 4 over here. So that's going to give me 2 mushrooms and an apple. Let's pick those up. Next, let's activate my rocks. So I'm going to give up a 3 to get 2 rocks. Come on. Ah! There you go. Oops. Next up, let's give up a 5 over here to get, well, I'll show you how this is done, but basically, by using a 5, I can give up 2 identical resources for 2 books, and I can do that 2 times. So I have a ton of apples. Right? I don't have a need for all these apples right now. So let's give up these 2. How many books do I really want? I think 2 books are probably enough. I don't have any cards right now that need books. So let's give up these 2 apples. All right, 2 identical resources are going to give me 2 books. Oops. Let's get those in my hand, in my tableau. So that was this guy over here. All right, and lastly, I'm going to activate him. And this is going to be give up a 1 to grab 2 cards off the top of the deck. By the way, the only 2 differences between these 2 spots is this one is from the top of the deck, and this one is you take a card from the display, but none of these cards are really interesting. So I'm just going to take 2 from the top of the deck, and they're going to go in my hand. All right, so there's my activation of my workers. So now let's try to build these comfort cards, because I do have 4 in my hand. And remember, you have a strict limit of 3 at the end of your turn or during the upkeep. All right, so let's just get this stew out, because I just picked up all the mushrooms that I need. So it's going to cost me 4 mushrooms. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get rid of that. Let's put the stew in my tableau. All right, so that's going to give me 5 points and an extra 2 if I end up getting the bread later on. All right, now is there anything else I can build? Well, this needs a bunch of apples. So maybe I regret getting those, getting rid of those apples. The pantry. I have a lamp which needs. Let's see, I need coins. I don't have any coins in my tableau or in my play area, so I can't build these 2. And I could build this right now. You know what? Let's just build it. So this is going to cost me 3 apples. 1, 2, 3. And let's just put this down. All right, let's get rid of this. All right, and that's about it. It's going to be the end of my turn. All right, so we're going to go into step 6, which is the cleanup. But before we get into cleanup, and before I forget, remember this guy had an ability that in turn order players may gain a book if they gift a resource to the to another player. Yeah, so we're both gonna do that. I think my buddy here is gonna give me an apple, and it is in turn order, and then I'll just give the apple back to him. So that's funny. So we're both gonna gain a book as well. You take the apple. No, you take the apple. Right. So I just got the 3 rocks and 3 books to my name. All right. All right. Before we do so, remember we got to do some management cleanup here. So let's get rid of the meadow and forest cards. Get that ready. The extra items. Slide everything over. Slide everything down. And don't forget this time to rotate the wheel. Boop. All right, so round number 3, I believe. First step, next traveler, and this one's an all month long ability again. So this one is all month long. All improvements and comforts cost 1 less wood than displayed on the cards. That's a really good card. So we got to remember that. 1 less wood for anything. That's going to be really helpful on the improvements because they have a lot of the wood symbols. All right, after that, let's roll our family dice. So squirrel's going to roll very high numbers, and the foxes are going to roll high numbers as well. All right, let's just do the worker placement spot. Remember, you can do this at the exact same time. So 4 and 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this off camera, and I'll be right back. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do yet, so let's see. All right, so quick. Put a bunch of guys out. The foxes are going this 2, 3, and 4 spots. I'm going to be going 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're both trying to get an improvement because remember we do get a discount this round. Okay, so step 4, roll the family dice. Let's see what's going to happen. And let's add that to my 2 family dice. And we are the first player to go this round, so let's activate these dice. So I'm going to need a 5 there for sure. Total of 10 and higher, 2 dice that are equal. I think this is going to work out well. These 2 are equal. I need a 5 there, 2 dice above 4, and then I can do one like that. So this is perfect. So let's just activate these. These 2 dice are exactly the same for this guy. So it's going to give me a wood and a coin. This 5 is going to go over here. So that's going to be a coin and a rock. My guys back. This is 2 that are 10 and higher. That's going to be my 2 family dice. So that's going to give me a wheat, an apple, and a yarn. And my last one is over here, which I am using a 3. So that's going to be this one, or this. I would have loved to have had a 4. Wheelbarrow is probably my favorite item in the game. But it's not going to work out. So let's see. I can build the umbrella. I can add 1 or 2 to one of my family dice. Not bad. I do get a discount of wood, and the only one that really needs wood is the tool shed. So, you know what? Let's just build it just because it's going to be almost free for us. So we're going to turn in a piece of wood. Let's get rid of that. It's going to go into the supply. And let's put that in our display. And this one's ability is... when resolving a worker in the workshop, treat the die placed as if it were 6. So no matter which die you place over here, you can build any improvement. Right, so it's going to go there. We're going to put a heart on it, shed on it. Let's see, could I build anything else? I think I will. I have enough for the lamp. So let's put that into play at the end of my turn. So that's going to be a rock, a yarn, and a coin. Let's get rid of this. So I got my lamp in, and this one's awesome. If I can get 2 books on here at the end of the game, that's going to be plus 7 points. And I already got 2 books. So you know what? I mean, you don't have to store these now. You can do these at the end of the game, but I really don't want to forget. So I'm going to put them here, and only in a last resort, if I really need it, I'm going to end up taking these. And remember, we're still looking out for the pantry and the bread, see if we can get some extra points. All right, and this is my hand right now, so maybe next turn I'll go get some cards. So this one's going to need some apples. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go, that's my turn. Get back my family dice. And like usual, what we're going to do is we're going to do the fox's turn off camera, but essentially over here, let's see, he needs a 3 here, so that's going to go here. There's all 3 that are even, so it's going to be like so. There's a, oh, he won't be able, oh, well he could. These are all even. He's going to need a 6 here, and then he can build anything he wants. With a 5, you know, he's gonna go get the wheelbarrow for sure. So it's gonna be a coin. Actually, he doesn't have the wood yet, but he can get the wood here. So that's gonna give him 2 wood. No, let's just do his turn because it's quick. He's gonna get 2 wood from this guy. This one's gonna give him 4 wheat. 2, 3. That's a lot of wheat. All right, that's this one here, and that's all these dice. This is gonna give him 2 stone. I am losing my resources here. He's got so many resources, and this one's going to allow him to build anything at a discount of 1, and he's going to go for the wheelbarrow. So it's going to be 1 coin and 1 wood. Boom, he's going to put that. He's going to come with this in play, and this basically means whenever he sends out a guy, he can put the wheelbarrow and he gets an extra resource of the type that he's gathering. All right, so let's just hold that like this. That's his first improvement in the game. All right, let's see if he wants to build any of his guys. You know what? He's going to build his hearth over here because remember, he still gets a discount of a wood. So it's going to be 3 stone. 1, 2, 3. And a wood. To put this one into play. That's a lot of points. 6. And he can store wood here for extra points. And does he have enough for this one? He does. Oh, he does. He needs a... No, he's missing a coin, so he's going to hold on to this in his hand. All right, so there you go. There's another turn. Let's give him back his family dice. Let's give this... just going to go to step number 6, which is sort of the reset. I'm going to pass the first player marker. Give him the dice. They should have all slid down. Let's refresh. Let's get rid of these. Slide everything over. Doop, doop, doop. This guy's going to take off, and of course we go on to the next round. So with the short game, there's only 2 rounds left. There would be 4 more rounds, with the longer game. And of course, rotate the dial. All right, so falling turn, step 1, Traveler. See what it's going to say. All month long, another one like this. Every unresolved worker earns 2 more plus tokens than usual. So that's one thing I haven't done yet all game because I've not gotten into that situation. But at any point, if you're trying to activate a worker and those dice didn't work out for you and you didn't plan very well, well, if you got to take them back without activating a spot, that's where you get the plus minus tokens, dice mitigation for future die rolls. But with this guy out now, you're gonna get an extra 2, so you're gonna get 3 instead of 1. All right, so that's good. Oh, and his ability is awesome. If you put a 1, 2, or 3, you can turn a book into 3 resources of your choice. That is really handy. Or you can get rid of a card for 2 coins. That's awesome as well. Okay, so that was step 1. Step 2, let's roll our family dice. So 4 and a 2. Let's see what we're gonna get here. A couple of 3s. All right, let's go to worker placement spot. And again, I'm gonna do this off camera because I'm not sure what I have to do. I'll be right back. All right, placement's done. We went here obviously to get more comfort cards. I went in there to try to get that ability, and Mr. Fox over here to try to build an improvement. Okay, so let's grab the common dice, put them out over here, and he's gonna go first. So let's just do his turn quick. Well, he's gonna need a 4 for over here. He's gonna need 2 dice that are equal over there, so no choice. It's gonna be a couple of these, an improvement here. Well, actually, you didn't think about this too much because this is 1 die, 2 dice, 3, 4, 5. So he's not gonna end up using 1 of his dice. So let's just put the 5 over here. Let's just put the 1 over here. And there you go. Let's just do this in order. So this is gonna allow him to draw 2 cards off the top of the deck. So he's got a fairy garden and a rocking chair. This one here, a couple of 2s. It's going to allow him to get a wood and 2 apples. Then over here, this is going to be a rock and a coin. And finally over here, the 5. Let's see. Which one of these does he want to put out? The almanac's not bad, but he does not have the coins for it. So instead, he's gonna put out one of these glades. These are worker placement spots that anyone can go to, but it gives the person who built it a little bonus. So let's see. Does he need his wood right now? No. So he's gonna build this. Actually, he can't. He doesn't even have 2 wood. He doesn't have 2 wood for this. He does have 1 wood and 2. So you know what? He's gonna put out the field. It's gonna be 1 wood, 2 stone. He's gonna put his little house on it. And this, I just like to put it out here near the board. It's gonna be another spot we can all go to. All right, so that was his turn. Let's just remove these dice. Let's see, does he want to build any of his stuff? I think he does. Does he have a book? Yeah, a book, a coin, and a yarn. It's going to be the quilt. That's going to go really well with the rocking chair. So let's just put that like this. And then he does not have the 2 coins for that, so that's one thing he's going to look forward to. And he doesn't have the wood for that either. So he's pretty much done for the round. He's missing a worker, so there you go. Slide everything down. And that leads me into the next player, which is us. So we're going to grab a couple of 3s. All right, let's see what we're going to do. All right, so here I need a total of 5 and lower. So let's put a 1 and a 2. Here I need 2 dice that are equal. That's where my 2 family dice that I knew exactly they were equal anyway. I'm going to put my... Unfortunately, I wanted to put a low number here. Oh, but I'm going to be stuck putting a 5. Unless I just draw 1 card. No, I really want to draw 2 cards. So I'm going to end up doing this. That sort of works out. Remember, I have the ability to move a character, but I think I'm good like this. All right, so this is going to be total. So it's going to be 2 mushrooms and a wood. 1, 2, and a wood. This one's going to be 2 apples and a wood. This is going to be 2 cards off the top of the deck. Let's see what they are. Got a soup and I got a pie. That's nice. Does it go with anything I'm trying to do? Maybe, maybe not. And finally, this guy here is, I gotta turn in a coin for a book. And I can do that one time. Sure, let's do that. Let's give up a coin for a book. And that's it. So, looking at what I have, do I really want to build any of this? Do I need the pantry or the bread? I didn't get the pantry or the bread. I don't have the wheat for this. I don't have the wheat for this. And I don't have the coin for this. Well, there you go. That's a pretty quick turn. Not much I can do. So worker placement's done. Let's go straight into the cleanup step. So pass the first player marker over. Let's get rid of this and this. Let's get rid of the traveler. Slide everything like usual. Flip it over. Rotate the dial. Let's get rid of these two. So next turn is the last turn of the game, actually, because there's no more cards under this. And that's it. All right, so last round, I forget what this is, 5 or 6, I'm not sure. Lost track, and we're gonna flip out the next one. All right, so this one's interesting, it's immediately, so let's see what it says. It says, all players pass one worker to the player on the left. During placement, you must place your neighbor's worker before placing the rest of your own. You may not move the worker your neighbor placed. All right, that's kind of a weird one, but let's give my purple one there, and let me take one of his foxes. Okay, so essentially your opponent's gonna decide one of your workers where it's gonna go, so pick a place that's not really good and put him there. All right, so that's the traveler. Let's roll the family dice. Fox, squirrels, double 3 again. Boom, boom, boom. And now worker placement. Again, I'm gonna do this off camera and I'll be right back. All right, so placement's done. Essentially, we both used that power to put the guy here, which is probably the worst spot on the board, in my opinion, at this stage in the game. Just gives you a rock, and we both have no need for rock. So it basically uses up a worker that we don't want to use. So I'm gonna have a guy, well, we both have a guy here. This is a good way near late game to get resources you don't have, because you can do some conversions with extra resources. I put a thing here, you know, try to mill that deck. Maybe I can get something good, and I'm gonna go for some wheat and apples over there. All right, so let's roll step 5 some family dice here. Let's put it here and use my dice as well. Wow, that's a lot of 3s. All right, so on my turn, pretty simple. Let's just do 3 and a 4 here. That's gonna give me those resources. I really want to use a 2 over here so I can draw 2 cards. Unfortunately, that means that I have to use a 4 here, and I don't have a 1, 2, or a 6 left over to even get my 1 stone. So there goes that stone. All right, so let's do this in order. Let's mill this top of the deck and see if I can get something I like. Remember, you discard at the end of your turn, so it's not so bad. I'm just gonna add these to my hand. Oh, I got the pantry. Maybe I'll be able to build that and get some extra points. We'll see. All right, then I'm gonna use this. 2 dice equals 7. It's gonna be 2 wheat and 2 apples. I'm gonna put out all my resources here because I'm gonna have to build a ton of stuff because I'm gonna have to convert right now. This is pretty much just a conversion. You can do coin into resource, 2 the same resources into something else, or 3 resources into a coin. All right, just looking over my cards to see what I need to convert is I really want to build a pantry no matter what, so I got that down because that's gonna be a lot of points. I got the pie, I'll be able to build that. Now, if I had a choice between to build any of these, well, this is just 5 points, this is just 4, and I don't really have a rocking chair, so I'm gonna try to build the snowshoes, which is the most points. Now I need 2 yarn and a wood, so I have a wood here, but I don't have 2 yarn. All right, so I could do the conversion here, 2 resources into 1 resource. So let's do 2 rocks into a yarn, and then 2 apples into a yarn. All right, 2 to 1. So that's gonna give me 2 yarn. Boom, and that's gonna be wood and 2 yarn, just like that. So essentially, I'm gonna be playing these 3 cards on my turn. So let's get rid of all these resources. Boom. Let's put this in my display. All right, so the pantry goes with this one here, extra points. Snowshoes, nothing special. Let's just put it here. And the pie, nothing special. Let's put it here. And remember this, I gotta, very important, leave that stuff there. Give me some extra points. Okay, so let's take back my workers that I forgot to take back. And now the fox is going to do the exact same thing. Both even. Let's do double 4. Needs a 6 here. Oh, unfortunately, he did not roll a 6. And there's no way for him to change it. By the way, he was going to put out his wheelbarrow. What is that guy there? Forgot. Let's put the 2 over here. And let's just put anything here. So essentially, he's going to get a plus-minus token for this. Just very useless at the end of the game. I got lucky there. Double 4 here. So he's going to get 2 mushrooms and 2 wood, I guess. Yeah. 2 mushroom. 1, 2. He's going to get a stone for that. And here's the conversion again. So just like I did with my player, you know, I'll figure out all the stuff, all the conversions he wants to do. He's going to build his stuff, and I'll be back for the endgame scoring. All right, there you go. So he ended up building the fairy garden, did a ton of conversions to get all the resources that he needed for that, and he ended up with nothing. So right on the nose. So this leads us into the last upkeep. Basically what it says is when you got to flip them over, the game's going to come to an end and you go straight to end game scoring. So let's do a quick mathematical update here of the score. So my opponent's going to have 3. Remember, you count the values here. 4, 5. 5 plus 5, 10. Plus 7, 17. Plus the 2 on the card, so 19. Plus 6 is 25. Plus 4 is 29. Plus 8 is 37, and the plus 2 of the field over there, which is going to be 39 points, and I hope I did that correctly. He has nothing left, so let's just say 39 at a quick glance. I'll double check later. And for me, all right, so let's start with the lamp and the 2 over here, because it's the biggest number. It's going to be 11 plus 4, that's going to be 15. Plus 5 is 20, plus 4 is 24. That gives me an extra plus 2, so 26. Plus 11, these don't have any special ability. 26, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and I took it down with 44. And I believe these extra resources stand for something. I'll double check. Oh, I even forgot that the books give you 2 points each. The coins are 1, and 3 resources is 1. So unfortunately I didn't get 3 resources, but these 2 bucks would be an extra plus 4 points. And by the way, if you ever want, you can just track it on this side here, go across the board here, and if you pass 50, then you just restart with that token over here. Anyway, so that's it. I ended up taking it down over my opponent, and that is Creature Comforts. Really cutesy game. We'll see you in the next one. Later.